Hi, boys and girls. Happy March 2nd. Today is a special day. I'm wearing my Cat in a Hat hat, and that is because today is Dr. Seuss's birthday. Now, if you were at our whole group Zoom on Friday, we talked about Dr. Seuss, and we'll talk about him on Zoom today also. But we had I think we had 3 or 4 kids gone on Friday, and they didn't get to hear about Dr. Seuss. So we're going to kind of celebrate him the whole week. He was a very special man. He was an author. He wrote children's books, and he was an illustrator. That's what I like about him. He wrote his own stories and he did his own pictures. So I've got one of my favorites, The Cat in the Hat. Now, we read this on Zoom on Friday. We didn't actually read it. We watched somebody else reading it. These books I love. I love reading them because they rhyme. They're so much fun to read, but they're very long books. They take a long time. Some of these books take 10 or 15 minutes to read. But we will be reading them during the week, either on lessons or on Zoom. I'm not going to read this one today because what we're going to do is we're going to do the drawing, because we did have about 4 kids miss it on Friday, and we did that drawing, the directed drawing. It was kind of practice. We did it on our whiteboards. I want to do another one today because I want you to save it for your memory book, okay? So I'll show you how to do it. We're going to go over it again. So I'm not going to read this book today, but I did want to show you that, look, I brought home my big box that says Dr. Seuss books. We had this box at school. Look at how many Dr. Seuss books I have. I know a lot of you guys have Dr. Seuss books at home. Now they have to say by Dr. Seuss on them, or else they might be his publishing company and not him. So he did write this one. Mr. Brown can moo, can you? Okay, this one here does not say it's by Dr. Seuss, so that was just made by his publishing company. I love this one. We'll definitely read this week. I love it. Dr. Seuss's ABCs. Oh, here's a super famous one. Hop on Pop. Okay, here's a couple more that aren't written by him. Marvin K. Mooney, will you please go now? I've got a couple of those, don't I? Okay, now the Berenstain Bear books are published by the Cat in the Hat books. He Bear, She Bear, that's also Berenstain Bears. Okay, I'm going to kind of go, let's see, here's a good one. I Can Read with My Eyes Shut. Oh, I have 2 copies of The Cat in the Hat. Put your thumbs up if you know this one. The Foot Book. Okay, I'm going kind of fast because there's some in here. Oh, we know this one. Fox in Socks. I'm going to definitely read that one this week. Okay, so you can see how many I have. Here's one of my favorites. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. And probably my favorite of all, green eggs and ham. I'm saving this one for Friday because what I want to do is make some green eggs and ham and eat it on Zoom. I'm going to have green eggs and ham. You'll have to ask Mommy and Daddy if they'll make some for you. Okay, I'm going to put all these books away, and I'm going to go ahead and do that whole directed drawing lesson over. And it's up to you guys if you want to watch it all and then do it on your own or do it along with me. I also printed out some things that I'll read for you on Zoom. Since today is his birthday, I found this cool picture. Here's a picture of what Dr. Seuss looked like. Here's some of his famous characters. You recognize the Cat in the Hat. How about the Grinch that stole Christmas? Okay, I'll put this one off to the side. And then I printed out a whole biography about him. This gives us lots of information about his life. And I will also save that. Okay, now I'm going to show you some finished copies of the Cat in the Hat. These I did in previous years. So I would do them in front of the kids, direct to draw, and then I would just save the sample. And then what I did is when I was all done on paper, I cut around it with some fancy scissors and glued it to red. And then this is going to go in your memory book. You guys don't have to worry about that red paper. I'll do that when you give it to me. Here's another one. Oh, I like that one. That one turned out really good. Here's another one. And here's another one. So all you need is a plain white piece of paper. I did not provide that for you. Sorry, you guys. I think everybody can come up with a plain white piece of paper, right? All right. Doesn't even have to be construction paper. It can just be computer, copy paper. Now, before I start, remember what we did on our whiteboards on Friday? We found the middle of our paper. Find the middle of your paper and then move your finger up a little bit. This is where I'm going to start my head with an oval. The reason why you want to start it up here is if I start it down too low, I'm not going to have enough room. I don't want to make him teeny tiny. okay? So if I start it down here, I won't have room for his body and his legs. If I start it too high, it's gonna look like he's floating up in the sky and I won't have room for his hat. So find the middle of your paper, move your finger up a little bit, and that's where I'm gonna start my oval. And my oval is gonna be for the Cat in the Hat, for his head. Now, just let me take a peek. See, these are some I did in the past, and I just wanna take a peek. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do the whole body, and then we will come back and put the face on, okay? So right underneath the oval, I'm gonna put 2 straight lines. Now that's the neck, and it's really important you get the neck because we're gonna put the little bow tie on him, and if you don't have a neck, you have nowhere for that bow tie to go, okay? Now I am gonna come out and I'm gonna draw a bigger oval, all right? Remember, I didn't say circle, I said oval. So we've got the small oval, we have the 2 lines for the neck, and we have a bigger oval, okay? Now, from the top of the oval, okay, from the bottom of the neck and the top of the oval, I'm gonna draw that oval, sorry. I'm gonna draw the arms. Now there's different ways to do the arms. The easiest way is probably just to come out. I'm gonna draw, now remember, I'm not gonna just do that. I want you just to draw one line and say that's his arm. Because your arms are not one line, are they? Okay, it's not just a line, it has shape to it, right? My arm has shape to it, so I need to do another line that comes out like that. So this is one arm on the left, this is the arm on the right, and when you look here, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Madison, I think you're the one that said that, and you were right. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of looks like he's wearing gloves. I don't see fingernails or anything. So I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, big hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I've got the arms. Now I am gonna show you, let me see if I have a sample here. In this sample here, if you wanna make the arms coming around like this, remember how on Zoom I put a book in his hand right here? All right, maybe when I'm done I can show you a different way to do it. Now I'm gonna do the legs. So he's got kind of long, skinny legs. So remember, please don't just do one line and one line and say those are his legs. Your legs are not sticks, and the Cat in the Hat does not have sticks for legs. So I have to add another line, look, so that they have some dimension. Okay, they're not just one stick. And then I'm gonna draw some big feet. And I don't really know how many toes he has. I could go back and look, but look, I'm not gonna draw shoes or anything. I'm just gonna draw some feet. They're gonna look like duck feet, huh? Okay, now I would like to go back and let's do the face, right? So on the face, I want you to find the middle of his face, and I want you to draw an oval. We were saying that maybe you could do an upside down triangle, but I think I'm gonna do the oval like this. And then I'm going to do some oval eyes going this way, oval eyes. You can even put some eyelashes and some eyebrows. And then I'm gonna put a happy face. He's smiling here in the book. Okay, so I did an oval nose. I did a happy face. I did 2 oval eyes. I put just a couple little eyelashes on this side and then the eyebrows like that. Okay, if you wanna look at my other faces, there's one. This one I put a little triangle nose. That has an oval. Yeah, this one here I made a triangle nose too. Okay, then what will really make him look like the Cat in the Hat are the whiskers. So I'm gonna put some whiskers. I'm looking. Oh, and I'm gonna put some spots on both sides of his nose, some little freckles. And then I'm gonna come out 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, here's the whiskers on the side. Here's the nose. I put these little spots or freckles. And I did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now he's got ears, but we're gonna wait till we get the hat. So to do the hat, boys and girls, you have to start out with the hat brim. I want you to take a look at my hat again, okay? This is the brim. This is the part that fits on top of my head. And this is like Abraham Lincoln's stovepipe hat. It's nice and big and tall, but it has to fit on his head. So what I'm doing, it almost looks like a hot dog. Okay, a long skinny oval, and that's the brim that sits on the cat's head. And then I'm going to come up and make a big rectangle. It kind of depends how much you have room, right? Right? So if you didn't leave much room, then your hat won't be as tall. Then I want to put stripes on my hat. We're almost done. Okay, so I just drew some lines across, stripes. Now I can put the ears. If I would have done the ears first, then they'd get covered up with the hat. So I'm just going to make an ear here and an ear here. Okay, so they're kind of coming out the sides there like that. Okay, now the fun part, one more really important thing. We're going to do the bow tie. So a bow tie, we're going to start out with a circle right on the neck, a circle on the neck, and then to make the tie part, the bow part, I'm going to make a triangle out to the left and a triangle out to the right. See how I did that? The circle in the middle, triangle on the left, triangle on the right, and then the bow tie, if you see in the book, see how it kind of hangs down? So I'm going to make that hanging down. Now here's the fun part. I like the way that turned out, but what you want to do is when you see this, the cat in the hat is not black, but see how it's kind of black a little bit around his face and on his neck and a little bit. That's called shading. So I'm not going to use the tip of my pencil. I'm going to use the side of my pencil, and I'm just going to do a little shading. I'm going to see if I can hold it up like this. Okay, so not too much because we are not coloring it black. So very lightly, I'm going to kind of come around his face. It almost makes a gray color. So you just add a little shading. I'll put some on his arms. Okay, it's very light. Don't do too much because the cat in the hat is not black. We want to leave the hands white because it looks like he's wearing gloves. Now I'm going to go around his body, around his belly, around the belly, but not the inside. The inside of his belly, just leave it white. There's a little shading. We can put a little shading on his legs. Okay, very lightly. I'm not pressing hard, and I'm using the side of the pencil. Okay, and I don't want you to do that with crayon, boys and girls. I really want you to do that with pencil. I love my cat in the hat. He turned out so good. And he's different than this cat, okay? Because he's a little taller and skinnier than this one, okay? And then here's this one. So they're all going to come out different, but they're all going to be adorable. Now, if you noticed, I kind of puffed, I did this one a while ago, I kind of puffed out the cheeks a little bit. You could try that. So even if you already have this, if you want to try puffing out the cheeks, you would just use your eraser, erase that on the sides. Let's see what he looks like if I puff out his cheeks a little bit. Probably looks a little bit, yeah, I like that. See how I just kind of erased that and I made the cheeks kind of like that? So it really looks like cheeks. Okay, now I want you to write the words, the cat in the hat. And while I'm doing it, I'll just hold this book up, okay? And it depends where you have room on your paper. You might have room on this side, you might have room on this side, or you could go the cat in the hat. Let's try that. I'm going to start with the word the, and I am going to use a capital T-H-E. And then on the other side of the hat, I'm going to say cat. We all know how to spell that, cat. And then I think I'm going to put in, and if you are putting two words together, don't forget the space, in the, and then on this side I'm going to put hat. The cat in the hat. Okay, there we go. The cat in the hat. Now you got one more thing to do. Now you don't have to write yours just like mine. If you have room on the bottom, you could write it here. Maybe you have room across the top. Maybe you only have room on the side. But somewhere in your paper, I want you to write those words because those are all kindergarten words. The cat in the hat. And then, oh, you can also sign your name. So I'm going to sign my name kind of fancy because I know how to write in cursive. But what you can do is just somewhere, probably down at the bottom, you could do it over here or over here. Sign your name because that's what an artist does. Now, I want you to find either a red marker or a red crayon. I got a red marker. Now, remember, the cat in the hat is not red, but his bow tie is red and the stripes on his hat. So I'm just leave your whole drawing in pencil. But if you can get a red marker or a red crayon, go back and just add some red to the bow tie. I'm going to trace around this whole hat, and I'm going to do every other stripe, okay? So I'm going to go red, white, red, white, red. Yeah, I think I'll do this. Red, and leave that one white. Red, I'll leave that one white at the top. Maybe I'll have to put like that. There, I love my cat in the hat. Now, I want you just to save that for me. That's going to go in your memory book. And I will do the cutting because I have the fancy scissors. So all I'll do when you give these to me, I'll just cut around it. Okay, and then I'll glue it onto some red paper. I thought about sending that home with you guys, but I didn't have a chance. And it has to fit in the memory book, so I'll go ahead and just do that. And so don't forget to save it. Now take a picture of this. Grady, I think you already did yours on paper, so unless you want to try another one, and whatever one turns out the best, you save that for me, okay? And I'll put it in your memory book. Okay, bye-bye from the Cat and the Hat, and happy birthday, Dr. Seuss.